All right, everyone, buckle up. We're diving headfirst back into the world of Final Fantasy VII.
That's right.
Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about Rebirth, the next chapter in this epic saga, coming exclusively to PlayStation 5.
Yes,
We've got a ton of intel to sift through,
we do.
gameplay previews, official reveals, even some juicy
Details.
insider scoop.
That's right.
And we're unpacking it all right here, just for you.
I'm excited about Rebirth because it really expands on the world we saw in Remake in a huge way.
Okay, you've got my attention.
We're looking at like a 40-plus hour adventure
Wow.
that promises to be just as epic
Okay.
as it is emotional.
Now, Remake ended with Cloud and the gang walking away from Midgar toward this peaceful town called Calm.
Yeah.
So where do things go from there?
Well, Calm is really where Rebirth opens up.
Okay.
You'll meet a lot of new characters,
Oh, cool.
embark on quests,
Uh-huh.
and even face a pretty intense Shinra escape sequence.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
A Shinra escape sequence in Calm.
Yeah.
That's not in the original.
It's not.
Tell me more.
Oh.
With no spoilers.
Let's just say you're going to be weaving through the town, using combat skills and quick thinking to outmaneuver Shinra forces.
Sounds intense.
It is. And there's this local Broden
Okay.
who helps you through all the chaos,
Okay.
which adds, a really interesting wrinkle to the story.
Now, I'm really curious about this Broden character.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned something about a new card game in Calm, right?
I did.
Queen's Blood, I think it was called.
Yes. Queen's Blood is brand new to the world of FF7, and it's not just some little side thing.
What is it?
It's a chance to relax, strategize, maybe win some cool rewards.
Nice. I like that.
And the rules are surprisingly deep. It's a really unique way to kind of test your tactical skills.
Okay, Master Queen's Blood is going straight to the top of my to-do list.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the world beyond Calm. We know Midgar was pretty linear, but what about Rebirth? How open is the world this time around?
Well, Rebirth is taking kind of a wide linear approach, which is an interesting concept.
Right.
Imagine a pearl necklace.
Okay.
Each pearl is a huge, distinct region
Okay.
with tons to explore, but they're connected in a way that keeps the story moving forward.
Okay, so freedom within a structure. I like that.
You'll get to see sprawling grasslands, rugged mountains, even some more urban environments.
Now, what about these rumors I've heard about chocobo customization?
Oh, yeah.
Is it true we actually get to personalize our feathered friends in Rebirth?
Oh, absolutely. The Chocobo Ranch is back.
Yes.
And it's bigger and better than ever. You don't just race and breed chocobos anymore. You can customize their appearance and choose from different types,
Hold on.
each with its own unique advantages in the world.
Different chocobo types. Okay, you got to give me the details on that.
Okay.
What kind of variety are we talking about here?
Well, of course, you've got your classic yellow chocobo
Right.
with its speed and agility.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the mountain chocobo, bred for its strength and ability to climb those steep cliffs. Imagine discovering hidden areas packed with rare items.
That's awesome.
And then you have the ocean chocobo,
No, hold on.
which can traverse waterways
Okay.
and even dive underwater,
No way.
potentially unlocking all sorts of hidden treasures.
Oh, you're blowing my mind. You're
Oh.
telling me we can find secret areas and go underwater. I can already see myself spending hours exploring with my customized chocobo squad.
And that's not all.
There's more.
Rebirth is packed with over 30 different minigames. Chocobo racing, strength tests, even a rhythm-based dance battle.
30 minigames.
Yeah. There's something for everyone, and each one has its own unique challenges and rewards.
Square Enix, you're spoiling us.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't forget about the heart of any good RPG, the combat. What kind of changes can we expect in Rebirth?
Get ready for a combat system that blends real-time action with strategic depth. You'll still manage your ATB gauge and exploit enemy weaknesses, but Rebirth introduces synergy skills,
Ooh.
which add a whole new layer of tactics and teamwork.
Synergy skills. Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
So imagine Cloud using his cross slash, followed by Tifa's Omnistrike.
Okay.
With a high enough party level,
Okay.
this combo could trigger a synergy skill called Final Heaven, dealing massive damage and briefly stunning all enemies.
Wow. So it's not just about individual attacks.
No.
It's about coordinating with your party to unleash these powerful team-up moves.
Exactly. And there are tons of different synergy skills to discover, each with unique effects and visuals. It really adds a whole new dimension to combat.
Okay.
Encourages you to experiment with different party compositions and strategies.
So teamwork is key in Rebirth.
Yeah.
Both in and out of combat. But this party-level system, it sounds like it goes beyond just combat, right?
Yeah, you're picking up on something really important. The party-level system really reflects the bonds between Cloud and his companions.
Okay.
As those bonds strengthen through dialogue choices, shared experiences, even those date nights at the Gold Saucer.
Wait, hold on. Day Nights at the Gold Saucer. So my choices affect Cloud's relationships and his combat abilities.
It's all interconnected. You see, Rebirth emphasizes the impact of your choices.
That's really cool.
Not just on the story,
Right.
but on the relationships between the characters. It's about shaping Cloud's journey.
That's awesome.
Just as much as it is about saving the planet.
This is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
I'm a little overwhelmed, but in a good way.
I get it.
Before we go too deep into Cloud's love life,
Uh-huh.
can we go back to that Shinra escape sequence? You mentioned a secret tunnel, right?
Right. The secret tunnel, it's hidden beneath the inn in Calm, and it leads to a discovery that completely changes how you approach the game.
Oh.
The item transmuter.
Okay.
Yeah.
The item transmuter, that sounds intense. What does it do?
Well, this device lets you break down items and materials, transforming them into something new and oftentimes more valuable.
Interesting.
It really encourages you to experiment and dive into the crafting system.
That's cool.
You know, find creative solutions to your gear and resource needs.
So it's not just about finding better weapons and armor.
Yeah.
It's about using this item transmuter strategically.
Exactly. It adds a whole new dimension to resource management.
Okay.
You're not just selling off old gear, you know.
Yeah.
You're considering its potential for transformation.
I like that.
Yeah. It encourages you to think more carefully about inventory management.
I can already see how the item transmuter could lead to some cool builds and strategies. But speaking of strategy,
Yeah.
how do we navigate this vast world that Rebirth is throwing at us?
Right.
You mentioned 6 distinct regions. How do we get around chocobos all the way?
Chocobos will definitely be your trusty steeds,
Ooh.
especially with their new customizable abilities.
Yeah.
However, Rebirth also features a fast travel system
Okay, good.
centered around these structures called Remnawave Towers.
Okay.
Think of them as like communication hubs
All right.
scattered throughout the world.
Remnawave towers, what do they do exactly?
Activating a Remnawave Tower not only reveals the surrounding map,
Oh, cool.
but also gives you valuable party EXP.
Nice.
So exploration is encouraged in multiple ways.
I like that.
It's a really clever way to kind of encourage players to uncover every corner of the map.
So it's like a reward for being curious and thorough. It sounds like Rebirth is nailing that balance between exploration and moving the story forward. Within those regions,
Yeah.
will we encounter side content? You know, like the 30 mini games we talked about.
Absolutely. There are tons of side quests that delve deeper into the lives of the people you encounter. These aren't just throwaway distractions, though.
Okay.
They really offer meaningful insights into the world and its characters.
Now, you've piqued my interest with these side quests. Any memorable examples?
Well, there's one quest line that involves a group of children trying to rebuild their community after this devastating event.
Oh, wow.
It's not about fighting monsters or collecting loot.
Okay.
It's about helping these kids find hope and rebuild their lives.
That sounds powerful.
It really is. It's a powerful example of how Rebirth uses side content to explore more human themes.
That's incredible. It really speaks to the emotional depth Rebirth is going for. And as we do these quests and interact with the world, our choices are always shaping the narrative, right?
Exactly. Remember that party level system.
Right, yeah.
It's constantly evolving based on your actions and decisions, influencing everything from dialogue to combat effectiveness.
Yeah.
It makes every choice feel really meaningful.
This is all starting to feel incredibly intricate.
It's,
Like a giant web of interconnected systems, all reacting to our choices.
Yeah.
Speaking of choices,
Yeah.
what about the Gold Saucer and those date nights you mentioned?
Aha, yes.
Any hints you can give?
Well, the Gold Saucer is back.
Yes.
And more dazzling than ever. You'll find familiar attractions like the chocobo races,
Awesome.
but also new diversions like this rhythm-based dance battle that really puts your skills to the test.
Oh, fine.
As your party level increases and certain story beats play out, opportunities for romance, kind of present themselves.
Okay, this is getting juicy. Any hints about potential love interests? I'm dying to know if certain fan favorites from the original might, make a comeback.
Let's just say that Rebirth explores relationships in a very nuanced way. The choices you make can lead to moments of heartbreak, joy, and even some surprising twists.
Oh, wow.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, just like real life.
Okay, you're killing me with the suspense.
Uh-huh.
But much as I love a good love story, we can't forget about the main event, saving the planet.
Of course not.
You mentioned the Midgardstormer as one challenging boss encounter.
Mm-hmm.
What other formidable foes await?
Well, we don't want to spoil all the surprises,
Right.
but Rebirth has a mix of familiar enemies from the original, reimagined with modern graphics and gameplay mechanics,
Sure.
alongside some totally new threats.
Oh, cool.
Each encounter is designed to really test your combat system mastery,
Okay.
pushing you to use every tool at your disposal.
You mentioned tools.
Yes.
Earlier, you talked about weapon upgrades, something called folios.
Right.
Can you elaborate on those?
As you progress, you're going to want to keep your weaponry in top shape.
Of course.
You can visit Sekvakarsa weapons.
Sekvakarsa weapons?
Yeah, think of it like a high-tech blacksmith.
Okay. To upgrade your weapons,
Okay.
boosting their power and effectiveness.
So it's not just finding new weapons.
Right.
It's about investing in the ones you already have. I like that approach.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of attachment to your gear.
Exactly.
And then you have Magnata books,
Okay.
where you can customize your folios.
Folios. I'm not familiar with that term.
Think of folios as customizable skill trees.
Oh, interesting.
Each folio offers a unique set of abilities and stat boosts,
Okay.
allowing you to tailor your combat style,
Right?
and enhance your character's strengths.
Yeah.
For example, you might find a folio that focuses on elemental magic,
Okay.
or one that enhances physical attacks.
So folios are a way to personalize each character's combat approach.
Yeah, and as you explore the world and complete quests,
Uh-huh.
you'll discover rare and powerful folios, unlocking new combat possibilities and customization options. It's a system that rewards both exploration and strategic thinking.
That sounds awesome.
It sounds like Rebirth is striking that perfect balance between staying true to the original
Yeah.
while introducing all these fresh, innovative gameplay mechanics.
Absolutely.
This is seriously impressive.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Real.
Rebirth is a game of layers,
Wow.
with secrets to uncover, stories to experience, and choices that shape the narrative.
Amazing.
It's an experience that will stick with you long after the credits roll.
Now, speaking of the narrative, we've talked a lot about choices and consequences. But how does Rebirth handle multiple endings? What can you tell us about that without giving too much away?
Well, in Rebirth, it's not just like reaching a good or bad ending,
Right.
It's about the nuances, the little ripple effects of your decisions
Right.
on Cloud's relationships
Yeah.
and the fate of the planet.
Okay.
Remember we talked about that party level system?
Yeah.
And how it impacts dialogue and combat effectiveness?
Yeah.
Well, all those choices, they contribute to shaping which ending you'll experience.
Okay, so it's not about making the right choices.
Right.
It's about making choices that tell the story you want to tell.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it makes it feel a lot more personal,
Yeah, definitely.
more impactful.
Now, speaking of Cloud, we've talked a lot about the mechanics and systems.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about your thoughts on his character arc in Rebirth.
Okay.
How do you see him evolving beyond what we saw in Remake?
Well, in Remake, we saw Cloud struggling with his identity.
Right.
It's his past, his place in the world.
Yeah.
It seems like Rebirth is giving players the opportunity to, delve into those complexities and guide Cloud towards some kind of resolution,
That's a great point.
whatever that might be.
In Remake, we saw him struggling
Yeah.
to figure out who he is.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Rebirth will give players the opportunity to guide him to
Yeah.
a place where he's,
Mm-hmm.
more at peace with himself.
Exactly. It's not just about Cloud being the stoic, brooding hero anymore.
Right.
It's about understanding,
What makes him tick?
his motivations, his vulnerabilities, how his relationships shape his journey.
Yeah, and that party level system plays a big role in that,
It does.
right? As those bonds get stronger, we unlock new dialogue options,
Absolutely.
new interactions. It gives us more insight into Cloud's character.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Okay, I like that.
The more time you spend with Cloud and his companions, the more you understand,
Yeah.
their complexities, their hopes, their fears.
It's making me think back to those really emotional moments in the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Like the date with Aerith at the Gold Saucer.
Oh, yeah.
Or those really heartfelt conversations with Tifa in the Sector 7 slums.
Right.
Those moments felt so real, so impactful.
And it seems like Rebirth is building on those moments, expanding those relationships, giving them even more depth and nuance.
It's so exciting to think about all the possibilities.
It is.
Speaking of possibilities,
Yeah.
we've seen some of Cloud's combat moves in Rebirth, and they look incredible.
Oh, they're amazing.
What can you tell us about how his fighting style has evolved?
Well, Cloud is as strong as ever.
Of course.
With his Buster Sword and those limit breaks.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is how Rebirth is combining his combat abilities with that party-level system.
Right.
And the synergy skills we talked about.
Can you give me an example? I'm having trouble picturing it all.
Sure. Imagine this Cloud's fighting a really powerful enemy.
Okay.
He's using his braver attacks. But this enemy's tough.
Yeah.
Let's say his bond with Barret is at a high level.
Right.
Barret could use his overcharge ability to boost Cloud's attack power, which could trigger a synergy skill called Crossed Fates.
Oh, wow.
Combining Barret's ranged attacks with Cloud's swordsmanship.
That's awesome.
Creating this devastating barrage.
So it's not just Cloud being a one-man army.
Yeah.
It's about how his abilities work with his companions.
Exactly.
To create these incredible team-up attacks.
Yeah, it adds a layer of strategy.
Okay.
It goes beyond just,
button mashing.
Yeah. You have to really think about your party, your character relationships.
Yeah.
The timing of your abilities.
Correct.
To really master Rebirth's combat.
That's really cool. It sounds like Rebirth is doing a great job of, honoring the original while also pushing the boundaries of what a Final Fantasy game can be.
Absolutely.
It's both familiar and completely new. And that's incredibly exciting.
It really is a testament to the developers and how much they care about the original Final Fantasy stuff.
Right.
They're not just recreating it, they're reimagining it.
Yeah.
Expanding on the themes, making it hit harder emotionally.
This whole deep dive has been incredible.
Right?
We've learned so much about Rebirth, this sprawling world, this intricate combat system, the nuanced characters, the possibility of multiple endings.
It's amazing.
And, as we wait for the game to come out, the biggest question is, how will your choices shape Cloud's destiny and the fate of the planet?
That's what makes it all so exciting.
It is. We get to step into his shoes, experience his journey, and make choices that will have a real impact on the story.
It's a level of control that few games can match.
Exactly.
So to everyone out there getting ready for this incredible adventure, remember, every decision, every battle, every relationship you build will contribute to your unique experience in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
And that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
It's a journey that will stick with you.
Absolutely.
A story you helped shape and create.
Until next time, adventurers. May your journey be filled with wonder, excitement, and memories that will last a lifetime.
And may the live stream guide you.
Yeah, multiple endings in RPGs, they always add that extra layer of,
excitement.
Yeah.
Intrigue.
It makes you think about your choices more carefully.
Definitely.
And in Rebirth, it's not just about a good ending or a bad ending.
Right.
It's about the nuances, the little ways your decisions can affect things.
Right.
Like how your choices impact Cloud's relationships.
Yeah.
Or even the fate of the planet.
Okay, yeah.
And remember that party level system we talked about?
Of course.
And how it impacts dialogue combat effectiveness? Well, those choices also contribute to shaping the ending you get.
Okay, so it's not just about making the right decisions.
Right.
It's about making choices that align with the story you want to experience.
Exactly. It's not about playing through a predetermined story.
Okay.
It's about shaping Cloud's destiny and the world around him.
That's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about the mechanics and the systems in the game, but I'm curious, What are your thoughts on Cloud's character arc in Rebirth?
Okay.
How do you see him evolving beyond what we saw in Remake?
That's a great question. Well, in Remake, we saw Cloud wrestling with his identity, his past, his place in the world.
Right.
And it seems like Rebirth is giving players a chance to really dive into those issues and maybe even guide Cloud toward some kind of resolution.
I totally agree. It's not just about Cloud being the stoic hero anymore.
Right.
It's about understanding his motivations, his vulnerabilities, how his relationships shape who he becomes.
Absolutely. And the party level system plays a crucial role in that too.
Yeah, it does.
You know, as those bonds deepen, we unlock new dialogue, new interactions, new insights into who Cloud is.
I love that.
You know, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
That's a great analogy.
The more time you spend with Cloud and his companions, the more you understand them, their complexities, their hopes, their fears.
That's what makes those relationships feel so real. It makes those moments hit you harder.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier about those emotional moments in the original.
Right.
Like the date with Aerith at the Gold Saucer.
Yeah.
Or those conversations with Tifa in the Sector 7 slums.
It seems like Rebirth is building on that foundation.
Yeah, definitely.
Expanding on those relationships, giving them even more depth.
This is so exciting.
It really is.
It makes me wonder, what will those moments be in Rebirth? What will those really powerful emotional moments be?
We'll have to wait and see.
Now, speaking of possibilities, we've seen glimpses of Cloud's combat skills in Rebirth.
Yeah, they look amazing.
And they look incredible.
Oh, yeah. Cloud is more powerful than ever.
Of course.
He's got the Buster Sword.
Yes.
His limit breaks.
I can't wait to see them all.
What's really interesting, though, is how they've tied his combat abilities into that party level system.
Okay, yeah.
And those synergy skills we talked about earlier.
Can you give me an example? I'm still having a little trouble picturing how it all works together.
Sure. Imagine this.
Okay.
Cloud is in a tough fight with a strong enemy. He's using his braver attacks, but the enemy's holding its own.
Right.
Now, let's say his bond with Barrett is at a high level.
Okay.
Barrett could use his overcharge ability to boost Cloud's attack power.
Okay.
And that could trigger a synergy skill called Crossed Fates.
Cross Fates. Okay.
Which combines Barrett's ranged attacks with Cloud's swordsmanship to create this devastating barrage.
So it's not just about Cloud being a powerhouse.
No.
It's about understanding how his skills work with his teammates.
Exactly. You have to consider who you bring into battle with you, how strong their bonds are, and when to use your abilities.
Wow, there's a lot of strategy involved.
There is. It's not just about button mashing.
No, definitely not.
You have to think about your approach.
Rebirth sounds like it really honors what made the original so great.
It does.
But it also isn't afraid to try new things and push the boundaries.
Absolutely. It's both familiar and fresh.
Exactly.
Which is really exciting.
This deep dive has been an absolute blast.
It has.
We uncovered so much about Rebirth.
Yeah.
From the huge world to the intricate combat system